I think it's time to free Tommy Robinson. It's time to end the establishment's attacks on this man. In this video, I'm going to lay out the reasons why it's absolutely vital that we start to listen to the complaints that this man raises, even though some people don't like the fact that working class people, people who are a bit rough around the edges, and people who perhaps don't conform to the usual standards of the political class should ever have a voice. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my videos and hit the bell notification icon. It's the best way to absolutely guarantee get all my videos as soon as they are released. Well, you've spotted that this is a return to YouTube by me. This is the first day we've been shooting and the camera, I think, looks absolutely fantastic. By the way, those candles are real behind me, even though this looks like a green screen. But I want to talk to you because loads of people have asked already about Tommy Robinson. And I want to lay out my view on it because I think Reform UK have got this badly wrong. And certainly so have the media. Look, let's go back to the story about how Tommy Robinson came about. And if you think that he is the villain after all of this, then fair enough. I'm not saying that I support him. I'm not saying that I oppose him. But just understand the story. I was involved in Windsor and Maidenhead Council, and we had the first homecoming of any regiment from Iraq or Afghanistan. In this case, it was the Coldstream Guards. It was something like about 2008, something like that. Well, I wasn't involved in organising it, and I wasn't one of the people that came up with the idea. But loads and loads of other towns followed our lead. One of them was Luton, and the Anglian regiment returned back, and Stephen Yaxley Lennon and all of his friends turned up. Now, they'd already been pretty angry about segregated schools. They were already pretty angry about grooming gangs. They were already pretty angry about the way that there was what they saw as apartheid in Luton. But nevertheless, they all turned up and were looking forward to a great day to support local soldiers coming back from a war. Well, what actually happened was Al-Muhajirun and Anjem Choudary were burning poppies and shouting abuse at the Anglian regiment. And so Tommy and his friends, or Stephen Yaxley Lennon as he was at the time, and his friends asked the police to take action. Now look, Anjem Choudary was committing public order offences. He was causing trouble. He should have been moved on. Look at the way that Jewish people are moved on if they go anywhere near a Palestinian protest. Anyway, the police took precisely no action. So Tommy came up with the name Tommy Robinson and created the Luton Defence League, which later became the English Defence League. Now, the police have raided Tommy Robinson pretty consistently every month for the past maybe 15 years. At the same time, hand-wringing and talking about the human rights of Anjem Choudary. Well, always remember something. Al-Muhajirun, the group that were out that day, were later prescribed as a terrorist group. So they were actual terrorists. Later, Mr. Choudary was convicted of being involved in a terror organisation in the United States of America. And in fact, the British police have said that 90% of people that have committed terrorist atrocities were linked to Mr. Choudary in some way, shape or form. Now, if you want to complain about the fact that Tommy Robinson is rough around the edges, do it. If you want to complain that he's not the most educated man in the world, do it. If you want to complain that every now and again he has a couple of lagers and gets into a fight, then you can complain about all those things. And you can also say that he was a complete idiot for attempting to enter the United States of America using somebody else's passport. Why on earth did he do that? But the central point is this. This guy turned up to a celebration of the British Army returning to the United Kingdom. What he saw that day was a group of people who were later all convicted of terrorism, a group that was later prescribed as a terrorist organisation, shouting abuse at British soldiers. And they said, enough is enough. Now, fast forward to today. We live in a country, particularly under Keir Starmer, but it has to be said, under the Conservative government as well, where people say it's time to shoot the messenger. Tommy Robinson, it's not about supporting him or opposing him. It's about saying he's the allergic reaction to the problem. He isn't the person that is causing the division in Luton. He's not the person that runs the sixth form like an apartheid state. He's not the person that allows honour killings and for children to be sent back as child brides to Pakistan. He isn't involved in any of those things. What he has done is complained about it. And what we have seen since is this ludicrous display by the British police, by the British courts, and by the British media, and indeed by the government, of saying to themselves, we can resolve this problem if only we lock him up, and better still, if somebody kills him in prison. Locking up Tommy Robinson is a complete and total waste of time. If it does anything, it pours petrol onto the flames. Here's what I think we should do. Forget supporting him, forget opposing him. And by the way, there will be people in the media saying that I support him now, which is garbage. What we need to do is listen to some of the complaints. Do we think it's right that certain areas are no-go to white people in Luton? Do we think that interracial relationships should be banned? Do we think that we should be refusing people the right to live in a particular area based on their religion? Do we think that we should allow uncontrolled immigration from parts of the world where people are fairly backward? Do we think that we should always just ignore all of these complaints when they come from white working class people because the accent that they make the complaint in is not as posh, perhaps, as Jacob Rees-Mogg? I don't agree. I think the reality is this man has got a point. He puts it badly sometimes, he puts it well some other times, but fundamentally, we have got a problem. And our problem is that we have encouraged a multicultural society that really is divided, where one community lives in one area, another community lives in another, and policing operates differently depending on who you are. And when you want to talk about the two-tier policing system, the minute I said two-tier, I immediately said Kia. Isn't it amazing? When you want to talk about the two-tier policing system, look no further than Anjem Choudary, because I will tell you one thing. Contempt of court is bad, but terrorism is far worse. And for Bedfordshire Police to consistently target Tommy Robinson, harass him, in my view, when they were allowing a genuine terrorist to continue to go about his activities, is unacceptable. People will look at that and they will question what Bedfordshire Police are doing. And the reality is, what is the answer? They're cowards. People are not willing to stand up and tell the truth. And I'm going to say this to all of you. What about the ordinary moderate Muslims? What about the decent people who drive the taxis and run the accountancy firms and go out every day trying to serve the community? When do we ever listen to those people? All we ever do is listen to the extremists from the Muslim community. The BBC had Anjem Choudary on the TV whilst he was literally assisting terrorists. Unbelievable. I think we need to say to ourselves, let's not shoot the messenger. Let's listen to the complaints of ordinary working class people about the ways their communities have changed. Let's support moderate Muslims in their effort to kick out the extremists. And let's never end up in the situation that we were in a few years ago when Muslims kicked Abu Hamza out of the Finsbury Park Mosque. And how did we respond? We shut the street so he could continue to hate preach. He once again, by the way, was extradited to the United States of America and convicted of very serious terrorist offences. We need to stop shooting the messenger. We need to support decent, ordinary people. And I say this right now, stop locking up Tommy Robinson. It is the opposite of what you want to do if you want to build community relations and make things better for ordinary people in this country. I thought it was important to make this video simply because everybody in the comment section has been asking my opinion. I will hasten to add that I've never met Tommy Robinson, nor donated to him, nor attended any of his rallies. This is merely my observation as somebody who believes in this country and wants a genuine political debate rather than the woke nonsense that we hear so often. Till next time, goodbye.